Yo, send me your location because I know where Cars is. Is out of here. This episode, Too Savage. This episode was the final elimination before the finale, and it gave us the matchup we all been wanting to see. Two Titans go into elimination. Only one comes out. So let me throw it out there. Did the right one come out, guys?
Yeah, 100%. I've been rooting for Tori all season.
So everybody's like, fuck Cara over here.
No,
Basically.
I mean, I wanted to see Cara do well, obviously, but I knew as soon as Tori got last place, she was coming back. There was no doubt in my mind. I didn't even know about the whole type of elimination they was going to do, but it just, I don't know. I had no doubt in her game. She's just on fire, and it just seemed like the right play at the times.
We've been pretty hard on Cara the last few episodes because this season has been kind of lackluster by her standards. And I want to ask, do you guys think she redeemed herself with the showing in this elimination and in the challenge? Or is it kind of the fitting ending for a season that's probably one to forget for her?
Yeah, I would say there's nothing redeemable. I feel like for whatever reason this season, Cara, and to her own admission, like she just wasn't 100% in it. And the viewers saw it, the viewers felt it. So as much as like in the beginning, I was rooting for Cara and everything, I just feel like I can't root for someone that tells me to my face that they don't really want to be there. Like it's really hard and you can't really redeem yourself at that point. I do think that I have this love-hate with Tori, but this episode proves to me that like she is a little sneaky. Like one of the things that I love about Tori that I came to realization is that she, number one, she can adapt to her environment. She can adapt to whatever is thrown at her, whether it's with vets, with rookies, whoever is in front of her, she's able to adapt. And she's super strong mentally and physically, and she downplays it, maybe on purpose, maybe on accident, but her strength and her endurance and her athleticism, I feel like, I don't know, like she doesn't come off like a Fessy or like a Casey, like I'm so good at this. So yeah, to answer your question, no. Cara did not redeem herself, nor do I want her to, and nor does she want to. So it's whatever. Sayonara.
I wish she would have. I mean, we've seen her this season in eliminations with her hands tied to her back, and she's come through and followed up, and we're like, wow, like, you know, she wants to win. She wants this bad. But she's just, this episode, and the past episode, she hasn't been coming through for us as like a fan or to be rooting for her. So I agree. I don't think she redeemed herself, but I wish that she would have, because that fire that she had when everybody was against her and she came through, I was like, come on, I want to see that, you know? And we just saw an upset last week. I wanted to see it this week too, although I'm like a huge Tori fan, but it would have been kind of cool to see, I guess.
My opinion, she got soft. This season, she got soft. And what I mean by that is like exterior wise, she doesn't always come off as the strongest player, but when her back's against the wall, whether it's drama with other people in the house, whether it's like relationship drama or whether it's alliance drama, even if she like on the exterior seems like she's breaking down, inside she buckles up and she gets shit done. And I wonder if this season, for whatever reason, she was soft. She didn't like get out people. She had her little jabs in the confessionals. Where was that fire in the house? You wanted Johnny gone. Why didn't you do anything about it? You talked a lot of shit, but you didn't do much in the house. And I wonder if, I want to say she kind of coasted to this point. She wasn't really challenged. Nobody ever called her out into elimination. Her reputation may have helped her, but without that fire, there was never a doubt like where I thought she was going to pull it through, unfortunately. And I have a lot of respect for her legacy, but this season she was soft. Look at All Stars 4. The house was up against her. And what happened? She kept that star the whole time. She went to the final, almost took the whole thing. They gifted Laurel an entry into the final, and that sucks. But Cara was strong that season. Coming into this season, I don't know. It came off very soft.
I think Cara showed incredible growth and maturity this season. This was actually a breath of fresh air for me personally to see, because every challenge vet that I've been watching over the last couple of years, pretty much since All Stars started, right, has gone through these challenge midlife crises where they get in the game and they realize, hey, you know, I'm 40 years old or 50 or close to it, right? The way the house functions just doesn't vibe with the way they live their life now, because they've moved on. You know, a lot of them are in relationships. You know, they're not in that whole single dating, you know, my young 20s, forever 21 lifestyle, right? And so in her case, I think that whole issue that she had with Laurel earlier, right? It was just a mental breakdown. And, you know, it was unfortunate that that was what I'd say the catalyst that triggered it. But I just think that when that happened, it really put her in a place in her mind where she was just like, hey, you know, maybe I'm not into this as much as I thought I was before, right? And so she had to kind of reevaluate the way she was going about the challenge, right? And so rather than just making enemies and stuff all the time, you know, she tried something different. You know, even at the end, we're watching her say, hey, you know, I made some friends, you know, and like, when do you ever see Cara make friends? You know, it's very rare, you know, and so I thought that was really good to see. It's just, you know, from a viewer standpoint, you know, it may feel like a lot of the challengers that go through this are dying, you know, they dialed out of the game. But, you know, sometimes these instances, they may take a season just to pass before, you know, they can come back and focus and reignite that, you know. Pretty much the only one who hasn't gone through this yet is Bananas. And it's really because he's still fighting it. You know what I mean? Like, he's up there and to the point where he should really be doing that. And he's not, because he's still finding ways to just make the game work for him, you know, based on his social game, you know. But I think in Cara's case, because she didn't have any type of numbers or anything like that, and then the whole, you know, mental breakdown she had, it was just, that was it. And that was all she had left really to approach the game. Mentally, you know, she may have checked out, but physically you could see she's still capable of performing.
I mean, I like that you brought up Bananas, because that kind of is case in point a little bit. First, like, quarter of the season, we heard nothing. He didn't do much. He didn't win much until he got himself in the game, or maybe he was pulled into the game by the drama with Devin and Michelle and all that. And then it activated GOAT Bananas. And what's he been doing? He won a little bit more. He won nations. It was an edge that needed to be turned on for him. I would say the same thing happened for Rachel. Rachel was kind of just like going by in the game until her back was up against the wall. She was all on her own, and it forced her to go out and make these relationships, and it forced her to play with an edge. And I think you're right. Cara lost her edge. I know there was like you said, a mental kind of moment for her during that. She really needed to come back and somehow find an edge there, figure out her way into the game, and she didn't. And it kind of didn't. I don't think it helped her really perform to the level that we've seen her perform in the past. Just that saw her become the first women's standalone champion of a whole challenge. Like, she needs that edge back. And yeah, you're right. As people age, they find less things to get angry about or pissed off about. But man, when you're in the house, you gotta be on edge for something. You gotta make yourself angry and interested for something. And for some people, it just doesn't work. All right. So we get the challenge in Fortress Bricks, and just to run off the numbers, we get Jordan winning that for the guys, Johnny in second, Kylan, and then Derek comes in last, and he gets a penalty for the final, unfortunately for him. And then for the women, we get the winner, Jenny, surprisingly, maybe not, Rachel, Cara, and then Michelle beats out Tori, and Tori goes straight into elimination. So what do you guys think about this challenge?
I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was okay. The puzzle, every time there's a puzzle, I'm like, man, this is like, it just proves that this is the equalizer. Like, it don't matter how you get there, but it's how you finish. But listening to Jenny with those wheezing, I was like, bro, somebody get her an inhaler. But I liked her grit, and she was literally just going ham. And it seemed like it was almost easy for them to just hold these cinder blocks and just hustle up. And then the puzzle at the end, like I said, it was just the equalizer. That kind of pisses me off, because I'm like, Kylan, you're ahead, bro. Like,
I know.
Do it.
I was sitting there and I was just like, Kylan, come on. Like, what is happening? And yeah.
I wasn't sure if the puzzle was that hard, or he really pushed himself so hard to finish first in getting all of the planks and bricks that his mind just like slowed down and he couldn't really get it because he was gassed out.
I think maybe what happened was, like, once you know that it's a puzzle and you've been deemed like the calculator puzzle king, you're like, I'll figure it out. So you put all your strength and mental strength into the other part of the challenge. But I do think that the puzzle was hard. I mean, you don't know what you were solving. You don't know what you're supposed to look at. And I think he was tired and he was banking on the fact that he's like the puzzle king to figure it out. And then what happens is the mind fuck, because then you're like, I'm supposed to get this right. And the frustration and everything is just like, you know, it counts against you.
He pulled a Corey. He just like went ham on just getting everything there, and then was like, damn, I fucked up.
Yeah.
That puzzle looked extremely easy to me. I mean, I don't know, maybe I was just looking at it differently, but when Jordan said that, all you had to do was match up the lines. That's the exact same thing I was thinking. I was thinking they got the easiest puzzle this far in the game to do something like that. They might as well just gave him the slider puzzle. That was so simple. And I mean, Kylan had the whole thing lined out on the ground so you could build it on the ground before you even stacked it, and he still couldn't finish. Meanwhile, Bananas walks right over there and puts that thing together and finishes second. You know, shout out to the editing for that, I guess, because we didn't even see him attempt to solve it, right? But it was just magically done. And I was just thinking, man, what are we doing here? You know, for someone that is so intellectual like Kylan, and he couldn't figure that out, man, I don't know what was going on.
I mean, is it a mistake to try to keep the pace with Jordan? You're like, I'm gonna set a pace faster than him. It's like, how about you pace yourself and think about this puzzle a little bit, my guy? Because that was close. You could have had the penalty going to the finals, but
yeah, he was definitely overthinking it. Like it wasn't that complicated.
What you guys think of Tori's strategy, which ended up not working out? But in the moment, I was like, this is not smart. Like she said, I'm gonna pace myself. All I gotta do is not come in last. Man, it just never seems like a good idea not to go for the best score you possibly can.
Yeah, I didn't like that one bit. You know, it was almost like, you know, she just felt so entitled to that final at that point, man. It's like, I'm not even going to try hard, man. I'm going in there. It don't matter, you know. And I mean, she still made it, but it was just, you know, I think the way that challenge worked out and then the elimination was kind of the karma for her treating that challenge so lackluster, right? Like, okay, fine. You don't want to work hard here. You're going to work hard next round, right? So
Yeah.
she got it.
Yeah, very risky to do that.
Yeah, I agree. I was like, wait, why are you taking it easy? Like, it doesn't matter. You know, people could go home so close to the final. Like, why are you doing that? But whatever, she got her karma. So,
Is there anything you guys learned from this challenge that is a kind of a preview for the final? Because there are definitely a couple of things I was peeping there.
This specific challenge with the puzzle and the cinder blocks.
Mm-hmm.
I learned like Jenny is in trouble. Like she's a great competitor, but she tires out real easy.
She came in first though. What do you guys say? Hating on my girl stamina again.
I felt for her, like she was struggling at the end. She was really struggling. I don't know if it's like when she goes too fast or like a running thing or as a strength thing, but what is it that's gassing her out? Because this isn't the first episode where I saw that. And so I don't know. I just learned like looks aren't everything.
Yeah, in her case, it's the asthma. I mean, I had that as a kid. And, you know, even when I would run in high school track, I used to have to take my inhaler before practice. But as the season went on, right, my body would get used to the working out and I didn't even need it by the end of the season. But in her case, you know, her asthma could be a little more severe than most, you know, especially if she's an adult taking the inhaler, you know, that's going to be an issue for her going forward because, you know, with those eliminations, you know, you're probably going to be logging a lot of miles, whether it's by bike or on foot, you know, swimming, and all of that is going to take its toll on her. So, you know, unless they get like a significant chance to rest, she better hope that she comes in first in a case where they give, you know, the first man and women to finish. Maybe you get a leg off or something like that, or you get to sleep in a comfortable bed for one night.
Yeah.
Close to the end of the season, Jenny. I'm gonna need those steroids to start working on those lungs a little bit.
Hey.
No. The okay.
Inhaler steroids. I get it.
Got
I
you,
get
got
it.
you,
I
got
get
you.
it.
You don't know what the inhaler
get it.
is? You think it's
I
just
did.
air? Like
Inhaler steroids.
it ain't helium, girl.
I got you. I thought you were piggybacking off of Nora's comment from.
Nah, I just wanted to get an AO in there.
Well, she's natty or not. I ain't going that far. But I mean, definitely those lips ain't natty. So
Rodney was just talking about that, how she took them out. She had no fillers after she won. And now we see her with like, these like crazy fillers. We're like, yo, what the fuck?
Insane. They're insane.
It's addiction to like beauty.
what you guys think of Banana's performance? So he gets second after doing the puzzle, but he's the last one to bring his planks up. And I was just like, man, is Father Time catching up here? Because, I mean, I know we're not shitting on Derek no more. We got to put respect on his name, but he got beat by Derek. Like, what's going on there, Johnny?
I think it might be catching up, honestly. Or do you think that he had some of Tori's little attitude, like, you know what? I'm already in the final, so does it really matter? Do I really have to worry about winning?
I think it's a little bit of all of that. I do think that Bananas is still stuck in that era where competition wasn't as strong. So like, I think he hasn't evolved with the challenge. I think he thinks he could still skate by doing the bare minimum. And I am like the number one Bananas fan here. Like, I want to see him win the season, but I do see where he could step up his game a little bit, but he's just banking on his reputation, and he hasn't really evolved with the challenge. That's what I see.
I partially agree with that. I think you're right about the evolution part. And I think that because it actually goes to further my point about the fact that he is one of the last surviving vets that hasn't really experienced that challenge mental breakdown. And so because his social game is so strong and he's so good on manipulating people, he can use that to coast where he doesn't have to exert maximum physical pressure. As long as he does enough to not come in last, everything else is top tier for him, right? So he's basically just walked into that final. I mean, I can't believe we didn't get like one bit of editing of just showing him at least working on the puzzle. I mean, he just said, oh man, I get there and everybody's still working on it except for Jordan. So all I got to do is not finish last, right? And then next thing you know, they're ringing the horn and he's done.
Yeah, I think he got that one quick. I think he's just like, he was like, I'm good. I got this. Good on him, because we know puzzles have been hit or miss for him, like especially in finals.
Well,
so
yeah. Oh man, that
we'll see about
double-sided one, huh?
Anything else that we learned from this before we jump over to the elimination?
Oh, we didn't talk about how they like went to the new location, the Philippines. I don't know if you guys remember, we were like trying to guess like what did he mean by more green? Or less green. And we saw water, so we're like, so I think swimming has to be in the final if it's already been in the challenge. The elimination. So I'm excited to see, because I love swimming. Like, I love to see people having to struggle in there, because it's sort of like puzzles, right? It's like if you don't have the stamina and water, it's just, it's like, whoa, it's crazy. And Michelle made it to the final, and she's saying that she's the best swimmer. So I hope that there is that in the final, and I want to see where she stands.
As long as she don't carry no bricks in the water. Let's stand up, Jersey. Let's stand up.
So what did we miss, Eric? Because I know there's something.
I know, right?
Well, in Deliberation, did you guys ever doubt that Jordan was going to vote for Cara Maria? Because he's always been the stand-up dude. He does what he says he's going to do, always. He's never backstabbed. That's like one thing not like his cockiness all the time, but Jordan never has backstabbed, never has done nothing that he didn't say he was going to do. But was there like a tiny % chance or you thought he's going to save Cara Maria?
Nah.
Zero.
Zero. Why would he put the best of the best against his own ride or die? Like, he's going to protect Tori. He's been riding with her the whole time. He's going to give her what's best for her game at the end of the day. So I was thinking like that.
Not to withstand like the shit that I talked earlier on Cara. I think like as far as competitors go, you're kind of like just flipping a coin between Rachel and Cara at that point for Tori. I think it's like literally the three best people left. I mean, Jenny's showing out a little bit, but and then hey, what happens if Michelle gets voted in and it's the swimming challenge? Like, so it could. I don't know that you really wanted to see anybody in that last elimination. So I think Jordan, I guess in the end was just like, this is my word is my word.
Well, what happens if Jordan had went back on his word? I mean, did the challenge just miss must-see TV right there? Could you imagine if that happened, if he just went back on his word and then actually threw Rachel in?
Rachel and Johnny would have flipped their shit in the house. They would have flipped their shit. And Tori would be in danger too, because, that's a showdown I want to see. Tori and Rachel. Cara, like we said, we've been dogging her this whole season. Like, she hasn't shown up. She hasn't wanted to show up. She does show up when her back is against the wall, but like with Tori, Tori and Rachel, like those are two big hitters.
We'll see how this final goes. Maybe there's more more to be seen there. As far as the other competitors in this daily challenge, I think it kind of shook out how we thought. Derek getting his bricks done before Johnny is impressive. Not surprising. I don't think we can say surprising anymore, but it is impressive. But he didn't do the puzzle as quickly as I thought he could. And after his showdown with Corey, you would have hoped a little bit more there. And then for the women's side, I mean, listen, like we're saying, it's looking like there's going to be swimming in this finale, you know, being on a boat. So maybe they're giving Michelle a chance, but she's like a cockroach. It takes a lot to get her out of this game. So.
Yeah, for real.
And I mean, you're right about that. I don't know what kind of swimming Michelle does, but I highly doubt it's like open water, deep ocean, Philippines type water.
It's Jersey Shore type
if
shit.
LA Fitness pool, you know, down the block is not the same as this. So
nah, she's down at Asbury Park with the Bruce Springsteen and her waterproof swimming out into the ocean.
Yeah.
Looking for love, hoping Devin comes to visit. We'll see.
Devin.
All right. So the elimination. Yay, nay, did we like that? It was pretty simple, but pretty intense, at least for me.
Hey, at first I'm thinking, I just gotta swim under there and just tread water. Yo, that shit is light work. And then I'm like, 2.5 hours later. Okay. Yeah. Nah, I'm not doing that for 2.5 hours. Like, I'm good in water. I could swim for a long time. Not no challenge shit, but like I was like, that's all they had to do. Like,
and you're like
really like
float.
underwhelming.
Like float on your back. You can do that for hours, right?
Yeah. I see Tori. She's chilling like this. I'm like, okay, girl. And then
now that's
I'm like,
LA Fitness style.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
but
good.
then when they were like, all right, this is too easy. Now you got to do it with your hands up. And I'm like, damn. I know I have like no upper body, so like my hands just like this for 5 seconds. I'm like, damn, I'm not tired already. So that, and then the elbows right after that, yo, you could see Cara like treading water out of her mouth because it was getting crazy. But it was nice to see Tori.
Did y'all think
calm.
when they went to that, it was like producers saying, all right, we
got to wrap this up.
We
gotta wrap it.
We're
We got to
losing
wrap.
the
That's
light.
exactly what I felt.
Yeah.
Well, because even TJ was like, how much longer do you guys have?
Yeah. And when I said to Ash, I said, man, this is going to be over in 10 minutes. And she said, no, quicker than that.
Yeah, I was like 10 seconds, bro. Because when they had to do up after elbows, I was like, it's done.
I was
done.
waiting for TJ to come out and be like, you know, I don't absolutely hate quitters. I mean, at this stage in the game, I'll respect it. He was getting tired too. He looked like he was up a long time too.
And,
yeah.
and they got a final in the morning. Like they got to get some sleep. So I bet you like, because we stopped hearing from the cast after a while. We heard at the end like, okay, good job. But I bet you they were just chilling on the boat like, like, yo, man, they need to finish it up. Like somebody quit already. So
Yeah, that was funny. I mean, like I said, it was simple but intense. A great battle. Two competitors who, at least legacy-wise, had a lot at stake. Tori comes out on top. What do we got to say about her season? Because I think this was like aside if she wins the final, this was a really like highlight of her season. What do we got to say about her?
I think I was just going to say, I don't have anything much to add about what I said before. I think this episode just like cemented, you know, a doubt that I had, like, is she really that good? Is she good or not? Like, I didn't know how I felt about her. But I think like one of the things that I really appreciated was when she was definitely struggling under there. Like, it wasn't just Cara Maria. She was also struggling, but she was like, what can I do to calm myself down? Which is like, look at your opponent and like, okay, I'm not that bad. And like do the psychological warfare at that point. So I think I loved that. I think she just grew on me a little bit. I think she had a great season. I can see how she was able to adapt to her environment. And I love seeing that one episode when she had like all the guys on her side, just like, okay, we're all in this together. I got your back, you got my back. And like, who else can do that? I can't see Michelle doing that, Rachel doing that. So there's something about her that's super likable. And I think it's just her authenticity. Like, she's herself. She's not, at least what I see, like, I don't see her being super entitled and obnoxious. I think she's had a great season so far.
So aside from the elimination, we provided like great intensity, great competition. We got a little bit of attitude going on. There was that first dinner, the first night in the Philippines, and everybody's going around the table sharing what their highlights of the season were. And some of it got spicy. But any thoughts on like, or takeaways from that scene?
Well, besides that, it felt like very Big Brother, which I was pretty annoyed about. I just want to say, I think that there's a little bit of plotting going on here. And I want to say that Johnny and Tori are faking this rivalry so that they could be paired up together and win another season.
Oh, excuse
That's my
me.
theory. Because they're
But
friends.
what about Jordan,
Sorry.
though? Her and Jordan are super, like...
They can't be
Yeah,
rivals.
but they can't be rivals, and they would win together, but they can't be rivals. So, because they always do like this rival, they always bring
Right,
it
planting
back.
seeds for the future.
Exactly.
Yo,
My mind is blown. That's wild.
that
That's
would
my
be
theory.
the most devious shit.
Because Johnny's smart. I'm telling you, like, he's really smart. I bet you he's just like, all right. Like, at the end of the day, they're gonna text each other or be like, yo, we're cool, but let's be rivals. I don't know, and they're gonna win. Them two together, they'll win.
They definitely would be heavy favorites. How do you think Devin would take that? Because I think there's legit like real dislike between those two dudes.
Or them two as rivals too. That would be dope. A good pair as well. But I think that it's rivals, right? So like you don't want to be paired up with them. You have to be paired up with them. So he's gonna give her that like, okay, like he's gonna hate that she's gonna win with him, but she's gonna win. He's gonna be happy for her. So this is just
Devious.
all fantasy.
Right, but it's
seasons
good.
here.
It makes for interesting content,
Yeah. Oh man, we'll see. We know we're getting the Rivals All Stars 5, and we've been shitting on like y'all got to get the next couple seasons right because it needs to get back on track. A nice rival season, a nice X's season. I know it's been done before, but when was the last time we had an X's? There's been a bunch of makeups and breakups since then. Let's see what we got there. So, but speaking of devious, we get our last karma points scene with Cara Maria. And man, I think we're all just waiting to see what comes out of this. And TJ did say something very specific that maybe I missed before. He says, how you treat people means what you walk. Let me make sure I get these words right. What share you get of the $1 million in the end?
Well, he said, the way that you rate people determines whether they get their share or not. That's literally what he said. What the fuck does the or not mean? Because
Right.
don't tell
You
me
teased
Johnny
it.
did this whole thing for nothing.
These motherfuckers are about to take his
I'm telling
money
you,
away.
them karma points is a tax. It's a tax.
It's a
I'm telling you,
tax.
they're gonna.
Yeah.
Or a
yeah,
tariff.
they're gonna pay.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Damn.
That
I haven't heard him say the or not part. He's never said that. I mean, maybe he said the whole thing to them when they're filling it out.
Yeah, the
But
or
the editing
or
has
not
never shown
wasn't
him say
there
that.
before because I went back and watched it.
TJ's
That's
very
insane.
careful with his words.
Yeah.
Damn, I think someone is due for a rude awakening if they win the money. So we already know Johnny's cooked. If he wins and they're taking money away, they're taking mad money away. But who else in this group should be
Rachel.
afraid?
Rachel.
Anybody?
Rachel.
Rachel.
Yeah,
She's been ruffling
she's got
feathers.
she's got some good ones, but she also had some bad ones too. And then Tori, I think, is another one who needs to watch it. She's gotten some low marks.
You know who else? I think Jenny.
Jenny,
I
really?
think people have not liked how she's played this game, especially from Era 4, how she was so loyal to Johnny from the beginning. And then she's thrown some people in repeatedly over and over again. I think she may not have the highest scores. On the flip side, if Derek somehow wins,
That's what I'm
they're going to give him
thinking.
$2.
Yeah, he's just gonna get 100% of the prize pool, right? So, and then he'll just,
Yeah.
For the first
Right.
time ever. That's it.
right,
You
and
know,
then you could give away money if you choose. He'd be like, see y'all later.
I think that's also what I was thinking. You just remind me, Rod, that it could be like first place gets a certain amount, but if you have low karma points, more goes to
Exactly.
second and third place. That would be
Yeah, 'cause
that would
the
be
challenge-
interesting.
that would
I
be a
like that.
Really good
Yeah,
twist.
because the finals have
Yeah.
always been really top heavy, right? Like first prize usually gets like 80% of the pool, and then it's like it's a serious drop down for second and third. Third usually gets 50K, right? So, at this point they could be cashing in at 150 or something like that. Man, it might be a nice payday for the top three.
I think they were trying to get rid of this bullshit where the last few seasons the winners have been throwing some money at second and third place. when the challenge was like, actually there was one season where that was the point, where they're like, you can take all the money as winners or you can give some to the runners up. And then they started doing that on their own. And I think the challenge is like, nah, fuck that. We're done with that. We're going to take your money if you didn't get good points. So.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
it's
crazy.
really hard to finish that elimination and get nothing. I mean, even when, you know, on the final leg and you see that 3 people in front of you have already finished, you know, what's your real incentive to finish other than to not look like a quitter, right? And so that's really, really difficult position to be in.
Yeah.
Guys, so I don't know when the next episode of Challenge is airing, but I can't wait. I can't wait for this final. I know this season has dragged on a little longer, but I think we're due in for an epic final. So I can't wait to pod about it. Bye. All Stars 5.
Yo, All Stars 5. Bye-bye.
Peace.
Bye.